Chapter 5, Part E of Greener Than You Think. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Greener Than You Think by Ward Moore. Chapter 5, Part E. I phoned Stuart Thario to fly over right away for a conference. "General," I began, "we'll have to start looking ahead and making plans." He hid his mustache with the side of his forefinger. "Don't quite understand, Albert. Have details here of activities next 3 years." I pressed the buzzer for my secretary. "Bring General Thario some refreshment," I ordered. The command was not only familiar on the occasion of his visits, but evidently anticipated, for she appeared in a moment with a tray full of bottles. "Bad habit of yours, Albert, teetotalism. Makes the brain cloudy. Insidious." He took a long drink. "Very little real bourbon left. European imitation vile. Learning to like Holland gin." He drank again. "To get back to the business of making plans, General," I urged gently. "Not one of those people getting worried about the grass?" "Not worried. Just trying to look ahead. I can't afford to be caught napping." Well, he said. "Can't pull another South American this time." No, and besides, I'm not concerned with money." "Now, Albert, don't tell me you've finally got enough." "This is not the time to be avaricious," I reproved him. "If the grass continues to spread, and there seems to be little doubt it will—" "All of New Zealand's North Island was finished this morning," he interrupted. "I heard it myself. Anyway, that's the point. As the grass advances, there will be new hordes of refugees." He was certainly in an impatient mood this morning, for he interrupted me again. "New markets for concentrates," he suggested. I looked at him pityingly. Was the old man's mind slipping? I wondered if it would be necessary to replace him. "General," I said gently, "with rare exceptions, these people will have nothing but worthless currency. Goods. Labor." "Have you seen the previous batches of refugees foresighted enough to get out any goods of value before starting off? And as for labor, all our workers are now so heavily subsidized by the dole that to cut wages another cent—" "Halfpenny," corrected General Thario. "Centime, if you like, would be merely to increase our taxes." Well, he said, "I see I have been hasty. What did you have in mind, Albert?" "Retrenchment. Cut production. Abandon the factories in the immediate path of the grass. Fix on reasonably safe spots to store depots of the finished concentrates, others for raw materials. Or perhaps they might be combined." "What about the factories?" "Smaller," I said. "Practically portable." He frowned. "You do intend to do business on a small scale?" "Minute," I confirmed. "What about the mines, the steel mills, the oil fields, the airplane and automobile factories, the shipyards?" "Shut them down," I ordered, ruthlessly, except maybe a few in England. "The countries where they're located will grab them. There isn't a government in existence who would dare touch anything belonging to Consolidated Pemmican. If any should come into existence, our individualistic friends would take care of the situation." "Pay gangsters to overturn governments?" "They would hardly be legitimate governments. Anyway, a man has a right to protect his property." "Albert," he complained querulously, "you're condemning civilization to death." "General," I said, "you're talking like a wild-eyed crackpot. A businessman's concern is with business. He leaves abstractions to visionaries. Our plants will be closed down because until the grass is stopped, they can make us no profit. Let some idealistic industrialist take care of civilization." "Albert, you know very well no business of any size can operate today without your active support. Think again, Albert. Listen to me as a friend. We have been associated a long time, and to some extent you have taken Joe's place in my mind. Consider the larger aspects. Suppose you don't make a profit. Suppose you even take a loss. You can afford to do it for common humanity. I certainly think I do my share for common humanity, General Thario, and it cuts me to the heart that you, of all people, should imply such a sentimental and unjust reproach against me. You know as well as I do I have given more than half my fortune to charitable works. Albert. Albert, need there be this hypocrisy between you and me? I don't know what you mean. I only know I called you to evolve specific plans, and you have embarked instead on windy platitudes and personal insult. He sat for a long time, quietly, his drink untouched before him. I did not disturb his meditation, but indulged in one on my own account, thinking of all I had done for him and his family. But only a foolish man expects gratitude, or, for that matter, any reward at all for his kindnesses. At last he broke his silence, speaking slowly, almost painfully. I have not had what could be called a successful life, even though today I am a wealthy man. He resumed his drink again, and I wondered what this remark had to do with the subject in hand. Perhaps nothing, I thought. He is just rambling along while he reconciles himself to the situation. I was glad he was going to be sensible, after all. Not that it mattered. I could get many able lieutenants. But for old time's sake, I was pleased at the abandonment of his recalcitrance. He relaxed further into the chair while I waited to resume the practical discussion. When you first came to me in Washington, Albert, seeking war contracts for your microscopic business, I suppose there was even then a mark upon your forehead, but I was too heavy with the guilt of my own affairs to see it. We all have our price, Albert. Sometimes it is another star on the shoulder straps, or a peerage, or wealth, or the apparent safety of a son. I have come a long way with you since then, Albert, through shady deals and brilliant coups and dark passages which would not bear too much investigation. I'm afraid I cannot go any further with you. You will have to get someone else to kill civilization. As you choose, General Thario, I agreed stiffly. Wait, I'm not finished. I have always tried, however inadequately, to do my duty. Articles of war, holding commission in the armies of the United States. Emotion seemed to be sobering him rapidly. Duty to you, Consolidated Pemmican. Resign commission. Must mention spot. Try Sahara. He stood up. Thank you, General Thario, I said. I shall certainly consider the Sahara as location for depots. You won't change your mind about this whole thing, Albert? I shook my head. How could I fly in the face of common sense to gratify the silly whim of an old man whose intelligence was clearly not what it had once been? I was afraid not, he muttered. Afraid not. I don't blame you, Albert. Men are as God created them, or environment, as the socialist fellers say. You didn't put the mark on your forehead. Not successful. Joe, I called him George, but he was Joe all the time, wanted to go to West Point after all. First Symphony in the fire. I burned Joe's First Symphony. Do you understand me, Albert? Though I refuse, I am still guilty. Cannibal Thario, they said. Cronus would be better. Classical illusion escapes the enlisted man. He walked out, still mumbling inarticulately, and I sat there saddened that a man once alert and vigorous as the general should have come at last to senility and an enfeebled mind. The defection of General Thario threw a great burden of work upon my shoulders. Preblesham was able enough in his own sphere, but